If you are a new or small YouTuber in 2021 or beyond, you are probably wondering about how to reach the 4,000 public watch hours and 1,000 subscribers minimum monetization threshold so you can start earning money from your YouTube videos. In this video, I'm going to be giving you 11 key steps that are going to help you get to the 4,000 public watch hours in the last 12 months and beyond and 1,000 subscribers. These are steps that I myself have employed in order to grow my channel, and hopefully it will help you grow your channel as well. Some of this stuff will have been said in other videos. However, some of this stuff is not often mentioned in other how to grow your YouTube channel videos. So hopefully you will learn something new from this video. In addition, I have timestamped this video for your convenience. So therefore, as you can see, in case some of the stuff you already know, you can skip through and navigate the video as you feel fit. One thing to mention is I will be talking a lot about broad gaming niche when this video is, as this is a general kind of area of focus that where my channel is at, so therefore that is where I have most of the experience, but nonetheless this is applicable to all channels, albeit with a different analogy. Okay, so the first thing we need to focus on is the niche. And look, I know you're probably fed up of hearing niche mentioned. This is mentioned in almost every single how to grow your YouTube channel video, but I feel like this is one of those things that is often it's not gone into a lot of depth, so hopefully today I'll be able to give you some broader insights. So if you can take a look here, so basically with the niche, an issue that a lot of channels face is that the niche is too broad. And what we mean by that is that if you take a look here at this circle, this is the broad niche, and this is the viewer. So as you can see, each viewer is different. The viewers are not connected. So instead of having one viewership base, you have many staggered viewers. So I'm going to use the gaming industry as an example. But one thing I've noticed is that channels that focus on many games are the ones that fare the worst. And the channels that kind of focus on a specific genre within the game or one specific game are the ones that generally have the greatest success and are the ones that experience the most rapid growth. And the reason for this is because if your niche is too big, as you can see here, what happens is you have some viewers that are interested in one particular area, some of your videos, but they're not interested in other of your videos because those videos appeal to different people, like here. So it's very hard for you to gain a subscriber base because people you're kind of getting some people watching one of your videos, getting other people watching other videos, and they're not really interested in all the videos you're producing or the majority of videos you're producing, and that's having a negative impact on your channel. And if you just take a look at the contrast then, whereas in contrast, if you narrow down and you take a look here at this is a narrowed down niche. What we can see the difference is, instead of having loads of staggered viewers who are coming from different areas and are only coming for one or two videos, when our niche is smaller, generally we tend to have a bigger viewing block that watches the videos on a consistent basis, as you can see here. Because if your niche is narrowed down, then people who are watching one of your videos are more likely to be interested in your other videos, as long as it is a very similar in the content wise. And if you take a look, this helps because if you take a look here at your subscriber to non-subscriber ratio in your YouTube analytics, one thing you'll notice is that what I've tended to see is a lot of channels, some channels tend to have a subscriber to non-subscriber ratio of like 1% of people are watching their subscribed, 1% of people who are watching the videos are subscribed, whereas 99% aren't. And this is an issue because generally what you'll notice, the reason big channels tend to get so many views at the start is because they have a subscriber base that pushes those videos. And if you don't have that subscriber base to push your videos, you're going to find it harder to gain a watch time and impressions and views because you just don't have that initial subscriber base to push those videos. So that's why, if you go back to our previous slide, it's so important that you have a narrow niche where you have a consistent viewership. Because if you think about it, let's say someone's watching a video in your specific niche. Let's say your specific niche is how to do videos on coding. If you have one person who is watching loads of coding videos, so the way YouTube works is it gathers data on what people watch, and then it suggests to people videos based on their previous viewing. And if you're making loads of coding videos and people and YouTube already knows which people on YouTube are interested in coding videos based on what they've been watching before, they're more likely to recommend your videos more consistently if you make loads of coding videos. Because the more coding videos you have, the more likely it is that someone's going to be recommended one of your videos, and when they watch one of your videos, the more likely it is they're going to be recommended another one of your videos because you have another video that is similar enough to what they just watched. And that is increasing your chances of gaining new subscribers, and it's increasing your chances of gaining repeat viewers. Because sometimes you have viewers that watch your channel a lot, they're not subscribed because they watch signed out, but they'll remember your channel name and they'll look you up as well. So that's why it's important to you basically want to have a viewership that's constantly watching your videos, and that's the best way that's done is through narrowing down. And that brings us on to our second point, which is consistency. So what does consistency mean? Consistency basically means, it's pretty self-explanatory, that you post videos on a regular basis. Now, there is a trade-off between posting too much and posting too little. If you post too many videos, there may be a trade-off between losing subscribers and gaining subscribers. And that is a trade-off you need to calculate at where is the best point to upload your videos. Because, for example, let's say you upload a video every day and you lose 1 subscriber, but you gain 5 subscribers. That's much better than you post videos every 3 or 4 days and you lose no subscribers, but you gain less subscribers. Because it's better to lose 1 subscriber that's probably going to be inactive anyway, and gain 4 active subscribers or 5 active subscribers altogether, rather than keep 1 inactive subscriber on your channel. But the reason why consistency is important is because even if you look on YouTube's own monetization policy, I'm not sure if it says it here on the first slide we have, but okay, it doesn't say it there, but basically, if you look on this page, if you look on the YouTube monetization policy page, what it says is that they require for people to be in the YouTube partnership program, they need to be active in the last 6 months. So basically, any channel that's not active in the last 6 months will be become demonetized. And the reason for that is because YouTube obviously wants channels that are active, because viewers also want channels that are active, because active channels are ones that are generating revenue. And that is why consistency is so important, because you need to be constantly creating new videos. What you'll notice on YouTube is the videos that are most the videos that do the best are usually the ones that have just been published, in the sense that the channel videos you have. So once your video has been uploaded, after a while it kind of dies down and it doesn't really get many views. For most small channels, when they get the biggest influx of views is at the start. So that is why it's so important to be consistent, because most of your views when you're a small channel will be coming when you just upload the video, or the first week when you upload the video. And if you're not uploading new videos, then you're losing that momentum within watch time, within views, which is channels that kind of take a break or kind of stop for a while and put a foot on the brake. What happens then is when they come back, they're no longer performing as well as beforehand, because once you let go of consistency, once you kind of take a eye off the ball, it kind of what happens is it kind of slips, and then your channel kind of slowly starts to get recommended less, because there's obviously less content you're producing, and then it's hard to come back from that. So that's why it's important to be consistent. The other reason it's important to be consistent is when you're just starting out, YouTube has no data on your channel. So I think someone on Reddit, they said you need about 25 videos before YouTube can kind of get a gist of what your channel's about. So that's why when you have a specific niche, like here, a narrow niche, this will be beneficial, because if you post consistency on a narrow niche, YouTube will soon start to realize what your channel is about. You'll have, let's say your videos are on Minecraft, Hunger Games. Then after 25 videos, if most of your videos are about Minecraft, Hunger Games, automatically YouTube knows what your channel is about, knows which viewers watch Minecraft, Hunger Games, or which viewers are likely to be interested in watching your videos as well. And if you're posting consistently, there's always new videos to be able to recommend. And what you'll notice, in fact, is most of the time when you suggested videos, if it's within the gaming or whatever, especially for smaller channels, they tend to be newer videos that have just been published. And that is why consistency is something you want to focus on. And then what you'll notice is that's why niche and consistency are important, because you need to focus on these 3 traffic sources here: YouTube search, browse features, and suggested videos. These are the 3 main features within YouTube. And suggested features, suggested videos and browse features, and which is like YouTube homepage, etc., or that may be under suggested videos. This is where you're going to get most of your impressions from, and this is where you want to be found. This is how you're going to get discovered. And being consistent and having a narrow niche that's focused in a specific genre is going to help you be featured in these 2 here, because obviously the more videos you have a specific niche, the more videos that are suggested to people who are interested in your niche, and the more likely it is for you to grow your channel from there on. And that kind of brings us on to the third thing: engagement. So engagement basically means that you need to interact with your viewers. So if you take a look here, look, I know some of these drawings are not great, but I think they kind of explain it well. So basically, you have your community here, and you have yourself. You want to be engaging with your community. You want to be able, not just for you to like talk to them. You want them to be able to talk back to you, and have some sort of engagement. And that is why, if you notice, just to use a small business analogy, the reason why sometimes people prefer small businesses over a big faceless company is because small businesses have the personal element. You may know the owner or the manager personally, and that helps, because that brings a personal attachment. So even though, let's say, a company with larger economies of scale, or a company that has more can get stuff at cheaper price, you may still prefer the small business, because you're helping the person, you're helping the small owner, the person it has that personal element. You actually know the person on a personal basis. And that's why sometimes you'll notice some viewers actually prefer small YouTube channels compared to big YouTube channels, because small YouTube channels have more of a personal element than big YouTube channels, because obviously the bigger a channel becomes, the harder it is for the creator to interact with every single viewer. So you need to that is one of the biggest advantages that a small channel has at its disposal. It has a greater ability to interact with its viewers. So make sure you use the most of that. So you want to be doing live streams, that kind of thing. You want to be engaging with your community, and the one thing is, you want to be replying to all your comments. Something I noticed is that some people just don't reply to all their comments. And when you don't reply to all your comments, you're just not engaging to the full potential that you can be. You want to show that you are engaged and that you've taken the time out of your day to respond to them and to, give them the personal attention, give them that personal touch, where you actually personally went out of your way to respond to their comment, even if it's something generic like nice video, cool video, etc. It's always good to respond, because then when other people look at your channel, they're like, okay, this is someone that responds to all their comments, and this is someone that's really takes their viewers seriously. So don't just leave a thumbs up, actually respond to the views, and this will help, because then people, once you respond to their comments, people always like when someone responds to their comment, because that's a lot of times people have questions, and no one sometimes on bigger channels they don't really tend to respond, they tend to respond slow. So if you respond to their comments, they're more likely to subscribe to you or to watch your videos, especially if you help them out. So make sure you respond to all comments, no matter what they are. Obviously don't respond to the bot comments, but you should have those. You can filter those out easily anyway. And don't just give the thumbs up here or the love heart. Give it a reply as well. And if we go here onto our next thing, this kind of brings us into our community outside of YouTube. So obviously, as you have seen there, engaging with your audience is very important. But what's going to help your channel, particularly, especially if you're a gaming channel, is actually creating a community outside of YouTube. So for most gaming channels, that tends to be a Discord server. But it can be anything, whichever site you prefer to use, and obviously whichever site most of the people within your specific niche are using will work. The reason you want to do this is because it allows you to engage with your viewers outside of YouTube, because unfortunately some of the most small channels don't have access to community tabs. You don't really have any way of engaging with your viewers apart from live streams and premieres. So creating some sort of community outside of YouTube is a great way to interact with your viewers, gauge what kind of content they want to see, and kind of helps build up your brand, and also helps viewers become more not necessarily loyal, but just helps viewers become more likely to watch your videos, because then they get to know you more, and then they become more let's say incentivized, or they become more likely or inclined to support your channel, because they're starting to see more of you. And that's another thing, because then you can use this server or you can use your outside community to actually boost your YouTube videos. And it's a great way to not only promote your channel, but it's also a great way to engage with your viewers and keep your viewers engaged. Because one of the key things when you're a small YouTube, much like you're a small business, is keeping the loyal customer base, fan base there. And the best way you can do that is by having some sort of engagement. And oftentimes that may include creating a community outside of YouTube, so you can help promote your YouTube channel as well. And that kind of brings us on to marketing. Marketing, I'm sure most of you know what marketing is. It's basically just how you sell something. And one thing to keep in mind with your marketing YouTube channel is think about your outside communities, what your channel can offer viewers. So if you just use a Discord server example, a lot of channels have Discord servers, but oftentimes they're just like join the fan base server or join the Discord server, but they never actually talk about what the server can offer them. So think about something your server can offer that's not just about promoting yourself or not just about your channel, but it's actually something that you can offer the viewers back, whether it be help with a specific game, whether it be discussion about the latest topics in a specific game. It's about actually thinking about what you can offer them, and this is going to make it more likely for people to join your community or to subscribe to your channels when you think, what can your channel offer them? So that's why you'll notice a lot of people recommend that small channels do tutorials, because a lot of times that's what people look for. Tutorials is what can you offer them? When you're looking at a tutorial, you're helping someone resolve their problem. So again, with marketing, you always want to think about not just the kind of content you want to create, but the kind of content viewers want to see and what you can offer your viewers. And yeah, that's just a YouTube logo. So that kind of brings us onto SEO and thumbnail. This kind of falls under marketing, but SEO is basically your keyword research. It's basically your keywords, and then you have your thumbnail. So if you go into here, your keywords or your SEO goes into the title, the description. There are also the tags, but at this day and age, tags are something that were kind of big on YouTube. I think it was 2015 back in the day. Tags these days are not very relevant on YouTube, so it isn't really something that you need to be paying particular attention to. Look, it's useful to have a few of them in there, but they make really no difference from that's generally what the general consensus seems to be. they're really there just in case the spell errors. But the main place where you want to have your the main place where the keywords come into play is the title and description. So basically, YouTube gathers metadata from your video, but it gathers it from the title and the first 200 characters from the description. So if you take a look here, and we've looked up a specific keyword, there's actually a typo there, but even if this is actually interesting, because even if there's a typo, YouTube knows what the intended word is, as you can see here, and it puts it in bold. So what you notice is, when you look up this word, these are my videos here, but when you look up this word, it's Omsi 2 how to fix jumping bus. It's in the title, and then anytime this, whatever I've put into the search bar, appears in the first 200 characters of the title, it's in bold. So fix jumping bus in Omsi 2. Take a look here, Omsi 2, bus jumping. And the reason why this is important is because basically this shows you that YouTube, the way YouTube works is the majority of the metadata is taken from the title and the first 200 characters. So that's why you'll notice a lot of time YouTube creators, some don't even bother with the description. Some just put in, let's say, the title, and then they just rephrase the title in the first 200 characters description. The reason for that is because it's part of the metadata. So now you need to be careful. You don't want to be tag stuffing. That's considered spam. That's not what you want to do. But basically, you just want to rephrase it in a way that flows in descriptions. So for example, Omsi 2 how to fix jumping bus. In this video, I show you how to fix the jumping bus on Omsi 2. If you're still, and there you go. Or Omsi 2, due to its poor optimization, can extremely laggy, return low FPS, and even lead to your bus jumping. So you're including those keywords there in a natural way that is not only relevant because actually it's explaining what the video is about, but it also has those keywords in there as well. So SEO is important. So you need to make sure that you're including your keywords in your title and the 200 characters, the first 200 characters in the description. You want to have some of your keywords in there because that's going to help tell what your video is about, and when someone looks up your video, it's going to help see where the keywords are and actually confirm to them that what they have found or come across is what they're actually looking for. Then it comes on to SEO research, and actually, just to mention about the thumbnail quickly, also you want to also have a thumbnail template. One thing I find is some people have thumbnails that are all over the place. Some people use automated YouTube thumbnails. Don't do that. They tend to be pixelated, and they don't tend to be great quality. Some tend to put text all over the thumbnail, which kind of makes it an eyesore, and again, it will tend to lead to a lower click-through rate. So you generally want to have a clean kind of template style, and it's good if you have a consistent template style, because then anytime, and once your channel you start making loads of videos, people start to recognize which videos are yours, and it kind of helps build brand recognition. But you want to have your thumbnails clean, basically. And then we have SEO research. This is basically your keyword research. Now, there's a few things about keyword research that I just want to highlight quickly. Is that you don't need a third-party app for SEO research. So if you look on a lot of these YouTube videos, you'll generally tend to find, like, if you look on a lot of these how to grow your YouTube channel videos, most of the time you're going to get ads at the start of these videos that are either about Tube Karma, Tube Buddy, or any of those kind of freemium sites that, you know, for a fee they help you grow your channel, or that's what they claim to do anyway. And I'm just going to tell you now, you do not need to use TubeBuddy, you do not need to use vidIQ or any channel or any of these third-party apps to grow your channel. I myself have not used any of these channels to grow my channel. I tried the TubeBuddy for a week. I tried a free trial. I didn't like it, and that was it. I stopped it. But basically the point there is you don't need third-party apps for SEO research. The best place to do SEO research is within YouTube, and it's just using search and autocomplete, that kind of thing. But it's fairly simple. That's what I've done, because it's generally, that's where all these third-party apps are getting their SEO research from. Actually, there has been some information about TubeBuddy doesn't even use the Google API, so it uses its own API, which leads to questions as to how credible the search rankings they produce are. But nonetheless, the point there is that basically even third-party apps most of the time are either using YouTube API or using API that's not part of YouTube, and therefore is not going to give you a very accurate estimate as to how much search volume a particular term has. So that's why you're just better off using YouTube search and autocomplete. Don't try not to get trapped in this kind of you need to use third-party apps to grow your channel. You really don't. Also, I realized there that it's missing the Y. Apologies about that. That was typing too fast, as you can see. Anyway, moving on from that, SEO in the video. So what is SEO in the video? So another thing to note is that YouTube actually makes a transcript of what you say. So what you say is made into a transcript. So basically what that means is that everything you say, or everything I will say in this video, YouTube transcripts it because it automates captions, and this is part of your video metadata. So this is why commentary channels sometimes tend to do better, and in fact most of the time commentary channels do better than no commentary channels, is because commentary channels, when they're talking, they're including them. YouTube is gathering additional metadata about what your video is about, and therefore knows who to recommend who knows who to recommend your video to even more. And just to come back to this a bit, that's why generally channels that are do no commentary. This is a bit specific about gaming mainly, but just to mention here, generally doing a no commentary channel, you're gonna find it very hard to grow on YouTube, because no commentary channels is harder to grow because, first of all, there's less differentiation between one no commentary channel and another no commentary channel, and there's none of this metadata. And the other thing is, if you're doing tutorials in 2021 on YouTube, generally most people will agree need to be commentary. These no commentary tutorials are considered something about 2012, and I can tell you, even personally, anytime I can find one with a commentary tutorial over a non-commentary tutorial, I'll always choose the commentary tutorial. So commentary is basically something that's kind of, if you want to grow your YouTube channel, it's going to be of a massive help if you're not doing it already, because it's gonna make it easier. Going without commentary is going to be particularly difficult in the gaming industry, unless you have some institutional advantage like early access, that kind of thing. But even then, it's going to be a much harder road in most cases. And this kind of brings us then onto self-promotion. So again, there's a few things about self-promotion that I think sometimes are overstated. I think its importance is overstated. So a lot of people, especially on Reddit, will tell you, basically when you're starting out your YouTube channel, you just need to self-promote. You need to post everywhere you can. You need to post your video everywhere you can, and that's the only way you're going to go. And I don't think that's correct. I again can tell you, I've done barely any self-promoting. I was on Reddit for about 2 or 3 weeks, but then I kind of saw it as a bit of a waste of time, so I stopped that. That was in regards to growing the channel, that kind of thing. And the reason for that is because generally the issue with trying to promote on Reddit or any other kind of let's say Facebook or any other application that's not YouTube is that that's not what people are generally not there to watch videos. And especially if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel on Reddit, a lot of these how to grow your YouTube channel, or a lot of these YouTube creator subreddits, they're just full of creators who are all looking for the same thing as you. They just want to get some views, in a lot of cases easy views with minimal work. And it's kind of hard to actually it's going to be hard for you to get your videos, get some traction in your videos there, because if there's everyone there is trying to get their videos seen, but there's very few people that are actually genuinely interested in watching videos, it's just, it's one of those cases where there's too many sellers and too little buyers. So that is why I don't think self-promotion is generally as important. And the other thing to mention is that even channels that I've seen, like let's say post their links in Discord servers, post their links in Facebook groups or on Reddit pages, they don't generally tend to get many views from them. And even the channels that have grown, that's not how they've grown, because generally, especially if you're posting on a consistent basis in what's kind of called link dumping or spamming, in what some people may see as link dumping or spamming, is generally not going to be help your channel massively, because people are not, once you kind of do it on a consistent basis, people are just going to chew down. They're not really going to watch it anyway, because most of the time they get low click rates. For example, on a Discord server where there's advertising section, realistically, how many people actually look at the advertising section? That's the question there. It's kind of, I think it's one of those things where it gives this false impression that it's actually helping the channel when realistically it's doing barely anything. So that's why I'd say, don't focus too much on self-promotion, especially the external YouTube YouTube discovery section, because that's basically your external sites apart from Google search. Google search is something you want to be found on, but external, which I mean by is Facebook, Discord, Instagram, etc. That's generally not the best place to be discovered for YouTube. The best place to self-promote on YouTube is generally YouTube. And now, just to be clear, what I mean by self-promote on YouTube is the best place to be found on YouTube. It doesn't mean to be spamming your links to other people's YouTube videos. Do not do that as well. So another thing is, there is general kind of etiquette about YouTube or live chats, and that is you generally you shouldn't be promoting your streams or your videos etc on other people's live streams or comment sections. And the reason for that is because while you may get 1 or 2 viewers that actually go check out your channel, a lot of people, especially creators, sometimes are not going to be particularly happy if you do that. And it's not something that is going to give the best impression. So I avoid doing that, because it's just generally not the way. It's not considered great etiquette. So what I mean by generally you should be focus your what I mean by generally you should focus on getting discovered on YouTube is that YouTube is where people want to watch the videos. You have a YouTube channel. The problem with going on somewhere like Reddit is you have to spend lots of time actually, engaging with the community in Reddit and, getting discovered on Reddit to get discovered on YouTube. So basically doing double the work. Whereas on YouTube, that's the best place to get discovered, because that's where people are looking for the videos. And if you can actually reach those viewers, that's where people who are interested in watching those videos are actually going to be. So that's why you should focus on YouTube. You should focus on browse features, suggested videos, YouTube search. Bear in mind, YouTube search generally doesn't offer as much of a doesn't offer the highest subscribe ratio I tend to find compared to browse features and suggested videos, because YouTube search is a lot more for tutorials, that kind of thing. But you know, it depends on the case. If you're doing trend jacking, then it might do, but generally you want to focus on YouTube, because that's where the viewers are, and that is where you're going to be able to find the most people that are actually interested in your content. And then this also brings us to plugs. Another thing is, so basically plugs are things like, okay guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to comment, etc. It's basically self-promotion within your own video. One thing I see a lot of small channels do is they put the plugs in the intro, and especially even channels that are monetized, and especially tutorial videos, and it's really annoying. Most viewers find it really annoying. And the thing is, there's no point in putting your plug in the intro, because it really doesn't work. Because what happens when someone puts the plug in the intro? People are spamming the fast forward button. That's what they're doing. They're just spamming the fast forward button because they are not interested. And the thing is, it's like coming back to marketing. Generally, with marketing or selling, is you need to actually tell people what you're going to provide them before you put in the plug. So you need to actually provide people something, and then you put the plug. So it's much better to have the plug in the end or the middle, or once you've actually provided some benefit to your viewers. So if you're doing a tutorial video, your plug should be just straight after, if you're going to put in a plug, straight after you've actually explained to them how to do it. Because then you've given them benefit, and then you've explained, then you've given them a reason to do it. Whereas if you're doing it at the start, first of all, they don't know if your video is going to help or not. They have no idea, and they're not interested in the plug. They're not there to listen to a plug. They're just going to fast forward. So keep the plugs to the end, because plugs in the intro, they just don't work. The other thing is, by the time if someone's watched the video, they completely forgot about your plug, and that's not on their mind. They've just exited out the video. So that's why keep the plugs to a minimum and avoid them in the intro at all costs. The other thing is also try to keep intros low. Sometimes people have intros that are really long. Intros shouldn't be more than 6 seconds, 7 to 8 seconds, to be honest, because they're a bit of a waste of time, like if we're frank about it, because it's the same thing over and over again. And most of the time people skip it. So, you know, try to keep the intros to, you know, to a minimum, especially when you're a small channel. The kind of hard truth about it is people aren't too interested in, you know, your whole story. They kind of just want to see the video. So, you know, if you want to mention that, it's better to mention that kind of in the middle of the video or at the end rather than at the start. Basically, the key point when you're small YouTubers, you want to be to the point. You want to kind of get to the point and kind of keep all this extra stuff towards the middle or end. So the next thing is you want to become a public subscriber. Basically what this means is you want to keep your you want to make your subscriptions public. So a lot of YouTube channels keep the subscriptions private. But what you will notice is a lot of channels also have the subscriptions public. And the reason for that is when you're a public subscriber, whenever you comment on someone's video, they'll have a little sign like this here, and this will tell them that they're a public subscriber. So it basically allows everyone to see the subscriptions are public. So anytime you subscribe to a channel that's under 1,000 subscribers, they will get a notification that you've subscribed to the channel. And this is beneficial because this allows you to collaborate with other YouTubers, and this allows you to allows other YouTubers to see that you're kind of part of the community. Because when you have your subscriptions public, first of all, if they take a look at your subscriptions, they're going to be able to see what kind of people you subscribe to. In addition, when you're a public subscriber and, you know, channels get notified that you've subscribed to them, and they see that you have, let's say, some sort of a name that's similar to their niche, and also have a profile picture similar to their niche, it's going to intrigue them. They're going to be like, okay, this is probably someone that's in our niche. Let's go check what their channel is about. And they're going to go check your channel. If they see that you make content similar to them, they might check out your channel. They might, you know, watch a few of your videos, unsubscribe, that kind of thing. So it's just a good way to start collaborating with YouTubers. And that's why I recommend becoming a public subscriber, because it's key. One important thing is you want to collaborate with other YouTubers when you're a small channel, because when you're a small channel, to kind of gain a foothold, you kind of need to build a brand recognition, and you kind of want to, you know, help each other out. And that's why a lot of small YouTubers do this, and a lot of channels will tell you this: collaborate with one another. And that is generally the way to do it, as long as you're kind of getting an equally mutual benefit out of it. And so that's why having your subscribers to public helps an extra bit with collaboration. And moving on from that, the final step is trend jacking, or to be the first to follow trends. So what that means is trend jacking, and this is probably the key feature that most YouTubers use. This is the main thing that helps channels grow. This is the channels that have grown the most are ones that have jumped on trends. And the reason for this is because it's again focuses on those 3 metrics in YouTube: search, browse features, suggested video, and YouTube search. Whenever there's something new going on, whenever there's a new DLC coming out for a game, whenever there's a new story surrounding a certain celebrity, etc., there's more search volume and there's more demand. So when there's more demand, that's when there's a great time to have more supply of videos. So that's when you should be rolling out your videos, and that's when you need to be especially consistent. So example, say something new comes out, say a new game comes out. That's when you want to be posting not just one video a day, you want to be posting 2 or 3 videos a day, because then people are actually really interested in seeing all about this. So they want to binge watch. That's the time when most people want to binge watch, when there's some trend going on. So that is the time to have lots of content, and that is the time to lure in the most viewers. So you want to follow the trends within your industry, within your niche, and you want to be jumping on those trends, because that is when you're going to see the maximum growth. And that also allows you to do some planning ahead, because if you know something's coming up, if you know some sort of new releases coming up, then you can keep this in the back of your mind. You can start mentioning this in your videos. You can start building interest on your channel about this, and then when it comes out, when it hits, you can immediately start producing videos and you can start gaining those views. And so this is probably the biggest factor that most channels use to help grow their channel. So this is probably the main takeaway, is trend tracking. This is really the best and most efficient way to do it. And that brings us to the end. So I'd like to wish you all the best of luck in growing your channel to monetization and beyond. If you found this video, do give it a thumbs up. I'm sure most of you are creators, so you probably know the benefit that gives. So I'm not gonna explain that to you again. But yeah, a thumbs up will be a massive help. And do make sure to subscribe for more videos. I do plan to do more videos about YouTube and how to grow on YouTube and other kind of features within YouTube and all that kind of stuff. I'll have a playlist as well. So make sure to subscribe. And if you have any questions, that kind of stuff, comment down below. Until next time.